And we're live.
All right, so let me read here. As the recent amendments to the open meeting law allows, the board will continue to hold meetings remotely. Adequate alternative access to the meeting is provided through the Zoom link below. The public may not physically attend this meeting, but every effort will be made to allow the public to view and listen to the meeting in real time and participate when necessary. Additionally, all votes taken by the Gloucester Human Rights Commission during this and future remote meetings will be by roll call vote. If you are calling in on a phone, you can press *9 to request to speak. If you're watching on a computer or device, there is a raised hand button that you can tap or press to request to speak. Please use either of these options during oral communications to be recognized to speak. And this will be a Zoom remote meeting. Participants will need to download Zoom to their phone, tablet, or computer. All right, so
I found Michelle. She's on as a guest, but
okay,
I will promote her to panelist.
and I have to apologize for all my typos in getting everybody's email. I thought I had made sure I was corrected, not a good example for writing instruction, not making sure I'm proofreading.
It's okay. You probably just used an old form because I think when you took over, we had some issues and it was probably just an old form. It's no big deal.
Okay, well, thank you.
I caught a couple, but I missed poor Hannah. So
Yeah.
We'll get it for the next time.
Perfect. So I'm going to have a roll call to order, and to get the members here. So we have Hannah Kimberly
here.
Mayusa Alves.
Yeah.
Michelle McCaffrey. Can you say, wait, Michelle, can you hear? Okay, yeah.
Here.
Okay. Here. Tony Borge here. Lola Prendergast.
Here.
Jason Grow. And Holly Duguilo.
I'm here.
Okay, so we have all our participants. And so now we're going to be, I hope everyone had the opportunity to read the minutes from our last meeting, the minutes of the July 26, 23 meeting. So I'm going to ask for any discussion about the minute, any questions raised. All right, so I'm going to ask a motion for someone to approve the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes.
Okay, we need a second.
Yeah, second.
Okay, so I'm going to do a roll call for approval of the meeting, the minutes, and we have let's see, Hannah Kimberly.
Yes.
Michelle McCaffrey.
Yes.
Mayusa Alves.
Yes.
Tony Borge. Jason Grow. Lola Prendergast. And
Yes.
Holly Duguilo.
I can't vote.
Oh, you can't vote. I'm sorry.
Jason can't vote.
And Lola can't. Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's okay. Everybody else is in. Yeah.
You don't want to feel excluded here. So we have to say, I'm going to introduce, we have a new member with the commission that we are very excited about, Lola Prendergast, because we've been working for quite some time, recognizing that we need to have, the youth on, the voice and perceptions and input, on the board. And so we're very, very happy to have you, Lola. And so if you can, one, introduce yourself, and then I'll have everyone else introduce themselves so you get to know.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Lola, and I said this in the ONA meeting, but I'm a high school student at the Waring School. I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm just really excited to be here and to get to know all of you and to learn the ropes and participate, and I look forward to it. Thank you.
That's great. So, Hannah, you want to speak a little bit? Introduce yourself to
Hi,
Lola.
Lola, I'm Hannah. I live in Gloucester and I teach in Wenham.
All right. Michelle? Just say a little bit, introduce yourself to Lola.
Hi, Lola. My name is Michelle McCaffrey. I also live in Gloucester. I am also involved with the racial justice team, the Gloucester Racial Justice Team, and I do as much as I possibly can to bring awareness to all of the things that make people uncomfortable.
Very important. Mayusa?
Yes, hi Lola, welcome to our group. I am immigrant from Brazil. I live in Gloucester for 27 years. I have two boys who was one born here in the United States, another one in Brazil. I brought him when he was 9 years old. They both went to Gloucester High, so to the Gloucester Public School and Gloucester High. I am on a board of Gloucester Education Foundation. This is my first year, so in April it's going to be 1 year that I am joined the board, and I'm very proud to be in Gloucester and be involved in the community and help as much as I can too.
Great. Jason? Want to introduce
Very
yourself?
briefly, first off, welcome Lola. It was great to have you come before us on the city council level for approval, and we're very excited that you're here. I'm really excited to have your voice and your generation's voice involved in this conversation. So that's great. As you know, I'm a Gloucester City Councilor. I've been here now for 24 years. In fact, February 29th is the anniversary of the closing of our house, which is weird. I only know that because it's a leap year. And but you know, we've been involved in Gloucester through various organizations and being on the city council, and one of the things that I know we miss is the voice of the people who are going to be inheriting Gloucester after we're long gone. So welcome.
Great. And Holly?
Welcome, Lola. I'm Holly Dugwillow. I'm the HR director at the City of Gloucester and the liaison for the Human Rights Commission. It's going to be a pleasure to work with you, I'm sure. And I agree with Jason, much overdue that we have someone from the schools representing, you know, the future. So welcome aboard.
Great. Well, thank you, Lola. And please, you know, anytime with the questions you have everyone's emails, and we're so looking forward because we're going to be just discussing a little bit into our agenda, but you know, the Human Rights Commission's ordinance has been revised and changed, and where we're going to really turn to become an educational focus and be able to do some, you know, public events, and having your input and, you know, is so valuable. So as we're discussing, you know, what we need, what we think, you know, and to have your voice to, you know, to kind of, you know, because it's been a long time since, you know, I would have that perspective. And so we really, again, really so happy to have you here. And it's a great group of people, and we're all committed, like everyone committed to, you know, make Gloucester a warm and welcoming community, and, you know, to ensure that, you know, for social justice and racial justice, and, you know, and so it's a great, you know, and the commitment that everyone has here. Now, if you probably noticed that we had our last meetings were in July, and in July was when, you know, we finally got the, you know, the draft and everything like that for the ordinance, and recognizing that since we have to, we're on a ground floor as to designing what we want to do as an, you know, as an education referral and doing events. And so when we thought now, of course, is that to have hybrid meetings, and the city's been working hard to, one, get the technology up, because it wasn't so easy of flipping the switch. And I know that through grants, I think the Mayor Verga was able to not only have the Kairos auditorium converted into hybrid, because there were a couple other, there was one down at the Harbor Masters, I think, and another place where you could do hybrid meetings. But now there's also 2 other rooms, I think, at the Rose Baker Senior Center. And so we decided that it would be best to hold off, because we wanted, by being in person where we could roll up our sleeves, have a whiteboard and start to generate and brainstorm. And it's not so easy to do on Zoom, to be able to do that. So we thought, and again, and of course it was, August. We usually may not meet in August because a lot of people are on vacation. And so with the hopes that, probably maybe in October, we would have had the training in the room, but that didn't happen. All things happen, and things just take some time. And so, and initially, there was going to be a training in January, and again, things take time. And so now that the training has been scheduled for March. So we thought, well, it's best that we start having meetings again, and we can start thinking about the brainstorming. I think it's March 30th, which is the training. So the training is at the end of March. So hopefully in April, we'll have our first in hybrid meeting where we can sit down. I mean, we'll still be Zoom. So if you can't make it to the meeting, you can still be on Zoom, but we'll have, this way we can really work together and start setting up our goals and objectives and what we want to do as the Human Rights Commission.
The training is on March 13th.
Oh, March 13th. Okay. Well, I had the 3 correct. So,
Yeah.
So we would, have the training, and then if all goes well in our March meeting, that we would be able to meet in the Rose Baker. I believe we're going to meet in the Rose Baker Senior Center, which also there's parking and everything like that. So it's not that far. So fingers crossed, I mean, if there's still a little delay in getting, with the training, we'll meet again in March on Zoom. So that's kind of the update on the hybrid meeting. I will, I think maybe Holly, can you clarify that? Can anyone, I know that, the chairs, but can all members of commissions attend, be part of the training?
Actually, I don't remember, Tony. I believe you can have more than one person. I know they want more than one person there,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure if the whole commission is supposed to be there. And I know, I wasn't part of that training. So I think that one of you will be running that meeting.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good. I think, to have at least, I think, Hannah, are you planning to attend? Or are you on vacation that week?
March 13th. I have to check my calendar.
Yeah. But
I
if
have it on my calendar already. I thought
Okay.
everyone had to
So
go.
that'll be good to have, a couple of us on there, because that way, when, somebody's out, and to be able to run the Zoom meeting. So, so that's the update in there. So in our next agenda item, actually, I want to skip from 5 to go up to 6. I just want to make a comment on that, which I've sent on March 7th, the Gloucester Initiative, which is, been a group of people to put together, to coordinate and get all those people and groups and organizations that do work, in community service, in community development, social services, government, to kind of be able to come together and formulate, almost like, how can we start meeting and talking to each other? Oftentimes, some of us are on different committees and, commissions, but not everybody knows what one does and what the other one does. And so there was I think it was in October, and Holly was there and Michelle were there. And they're having another meeting on Thursday, March. Say that.
November, no? I think it was November, right?
Or was it November? Yeah.
I think it was because I was invited, but I was in Brazil. I think.
Okay, yeah, so maybe it was, it seems so far ago in a far, far galaxy. But yeah, so, in November. So they're having, the next meeting is March 7th. I sent the information out to everyone, and it's from 7:30 to 9 AM. And I know that, for Lola and Hannah, have other commitments to be able to go. But it's a wonderful opportunity. And it's at the Elks Club, on the back shore, and a nice breakfast. And again, it was a great networking event. So if you are, planning, if you'd like to attend, please send the email. I think it's to Donna or Ruth. And if you didn't get that email, let me know and I'll forward that on to you. All right.
I was invited on separate invitation, so should I already confirm with the.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if you've already
I-
confirmed, yeah.
I confirm, I got a paper invitation too, and then
Yeah.
email from you.
Yeah,
that-
well, if you, whatever, however, you've
Yeah.
gotten another invitation, it's just, yeah. So, and when
I'll be there anyways.
yeah, so they'll be there. So that'll be great, for those of us who can go.
Do you know if
and-
that's something that Lola can attend as
Oh,
part of her
certainly Lola
school?
can attend, yeah, but I know you're in school right? March
Yeah.
7th is,
Yeah, I think my break begins the following week. So
Yeah, I know
Okay.
we had some students from Gloucester High there last time. I didn't know if it was if it was something that you could use as part of your curriculum to attend, but just throwing it out there for you if you'd like to try and attend.
thank you. I'll look into it.
yeah.
I will-
So that there, and then, one again, so I'd kind of like to kind of start just the beginning of our brainstorming on, what we would, what do we think that we would like to do? And, just to kind of start getting the brain cells cooking here, because we want to look at goals and objectives and educational events, but just, I think today is to kind of think about what the direction do we want to go in? Where would we like to go? And not go, not get into these details, but just kind of a general, picture of what we would like to see the Human Rights Commission do.
I would like to continue on with our educational initiatives.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
agree.
Mhm.
With the education initiatives, I also want people to know that we're here and that they
Mhm.
can come to us with issues or concerns or bring things to our attention. I don't know if that's necessarily happening right now. So I guess marketing or publicity on the fact that we have a Human Rights Commission and we are available and ready and willing to hear people out and see if there's something we can do to facilitate whatever action they require.
Yeah, I would like to see more defined for people. What exactly we can do, what exactly they can expect from us. We are here about what else, what can we do, what our role in this community. Not just we're here. What else? What can we do for them, for the people who need us? I don't think at this point it's clear.
Yeah, well, and this is giving us, we have the clear canvas, where we can, this is what we want to do. This is how we feel that we want, this is how we want to ensure that people know about us. These are, this is what we can do. And also understand, looking at reviewing the parameters of, the ordinance where, that we don't serve as an adjudicatory, that people can't come to us with complaints and then we do an investigation. That was, but another thing one thing that we have to do now is kind of create a separate page, for the listing, when we refer someone, you know, to, they need legal help, you know, mass, for discrimination, those kinds of things there. And I know that when we saw Holly, God, was it before Thanksgiving, Holly, where one of the
Yeah.
things is looking at finding someone that can help design that page. Holly can't do it. She's just
Mhm.
got too much on her plate, but that's
I
enough.
think it's done though, Tony. I think that the Sawyer Free Library has a really good start on a page that's available to people who need assistance, whether it be legal assistance or guidance with an attorney or whatever problem that they might have. And if we can even get a link on our page to something similar to that or use that data, we can at least keep track of how many people are visiting the page. That's a good way to determine how many people in Gloucester are actually using, you know, the services, even if we can't offer them, you know, legal opinions ourselves or help them in any way. We can at least see who's actually on viewing our web page and using it. There's
Yeah,
so
well-
many. It would be a great place to have all of those phone numbers put in place where anybody can click on and say, "Oh, I need help with this," or you know, I need to contact MCAT or, you know, an attorney or any issues that they're having. And like I said, the library has a page similar to that I think we can piggyback off of. I don't think
Well,
it'd be
that's-
too hard.
Well, that's wonderful. So what I'll do is then I'll go on the library website and I'll get the link and I'll email the link to everyone so that we can start looking at that there. And also oftentimes it's like, if there's something already there, it, you know, and again, this is part of, I think, that where the Gloucester initiative, you know, one of the purposes of this is that sharing of information and the collaboration. If the Sawyer Free Library already has that, and, you know, and then what we would, you know, how we would make it, you know, so when people know that that link, you know, will bring them to that information, that will be good. But I think that's a good, yeah, that's a good stepping off point for that there.
Let me just show something. I just went to my, this is what we did at the Gloucester Education Foundation. I don't know if you guys saw this. It's a,
Yeah.
this is have what I did with, I didn't help with this, as the office did it, it's so good. With all the resources that they have, all the organization, with all the informations, by the colors, you know, all different kind organization with the help. So this is what idea that I think Bernadette suggests one meeting, everything in one place on a website to have our own information in place. Here we can find by colors organization and in terms of health with the health, with the food, with our organization help, our different nonprofit organization help in all different things. So I think that the idea there should be something like it's an opposite, like, but it say that Gloucester Community Resource Guide.
Can you get us a link to that
Uh,
document? You know,
Yeah, it's a, I don't know, it's in print. I don't know if you have, but it's a Gloucester Education Foundation with the Gloucester Public School.
right? Because that way, if we have the link, I could send it to everyone and they can look at it. You know,
Mhm.
so if you can ask them, is it possible? You know,
Yeah,
or if it's on
I
the school
can,
website.
might be in the Gloucester Public School website. If it is on a website, because I know it's printed everywhere. That's a Gloucester Public School.
I think
Probably,
that's on the website, but we don't have a chat feature, right? Or
We
do
don't have a what?
I
Oh,
don't see
chat
where
fe-
to pop it in the chat.
Yeah, no, we don't have a
No.
chat feature.
Okay, I'll just respond to your email, Tony, with the link.
yeah,
Okay,
and
and that way we can look at that there. That would
Yeah.
be great.
then we have in Portuguese, English, and Spanish.
Yeah,
So,
and that's, of course, we all know is that what we do, and that the need for, you know, but, you know, we need to have things in different languages, you know, and that's one of the, you know, and that's something we've been discussing for some time, but this is, if there's already, you know, if there's already a model, if there's already something in place, then we can look at that. We don't want to duplicate efforts.
yeah, we can just put
Right.
that
But
I
if
don't
we,
see that it's on their website, though. I
Yeah.
don't see that there's a link to that program.
No,
But-
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's on a website to just print it. But I can get that information for you and
Yeah.
put it and send an email. I'm gonna ask them. Yeah, I'll get the information.
Jason, you have your hand?
I was going to suggest that, now that the commission has changed its structure somewhat, and I think a big part of what your job is now to do is to recommend things to the mayor, and to the city itself, but also through the mayor and try to get him on board on policy. They're in the process of doing the annual budget. This may be a good time to recommend to the mayor's office that they find ways of funding translational services so that you can start looking at things like agendas and minutes of meetings and things like that, that especially, some of the major ones that you deal with, city council, planning board, ZBA, and get a more regularized translation of agendas as they come up so that they're posted onto the city website in different languages that are appropriate. And that, if we have the funding for it, to find a way to get the minutes translated, because, being part of this community means that you want to be informed and knowledgeable about what's going on, about things that might affect you. But if everything's in English and the agenda's in English and the minutes are in English and everything's in English, you're not going to have that the ability to tap in as much as you might want to. And I think that it would be perhaps, I don't know if we can look for grant funding or if there's anything available on that front, but those are the kinds of things that we might want to think about starting to integrate into our overall sort of day-to-day activities, and making sure that when we publish the city council the council meeting agenda on Thursday, that it's also in Spanish, and Italian, and Portuguese, or whatever the primary languages of the community appear to be at the time, so that people have an opportunity to say, oh, and you can say, look, the meetings are going to be in English and they're not going to translate the Zoom meetings, but you are now aware that these meetings are happening. So you can, if you want to bring somebody with you, if you don't speak English or competently, for a meeting or something like that, confidently, I guess is the word I should have used. But I think that's a recommendation that the Human Rights Commission can make to the mayor, and especially early on now while they're still in the process of getting the budget process.
Wonderful. I like the idea.
Well, I think that is wonderful. And again, this is, talking about the need for translation is something that we've been doing off and on for quite some time. So, what are other people think of this proposal from Jason?
I like it. I think it's a
Love it.
yeah. Yep.
Well,
idea.
then at this point, I think it would be nice if we can have a motion to ask the mayor to see, I don't know if the proper terms, but in consideration, as he is crafting the is it the FY25 fiscal year 25 city budget, that that funds could be
Allocated.
a line item for funds for translation of city documents, starting off probably like like minutes and agendas of boards and commissions in languages, so that we have more residents of Gloucester will be able to read that and feel more included. And when we're talking about, as the Human Rights Commission, of inclusivity, that this is something that, I feel that, is valuable. So if we can have somebody raise a motion.
I propose a motion to communicate with the mayor that we suggest that funds be allocated to providing translations for starting off with the meetings and agendas of all community commission boards so that other members in the community who do not speak English as their first language can have access and feel more included in what's going on. I hope I covered everything.
A second.
Okay, so, gonna do the roll call for, you know.
Hold
to-
on, Jason wanted to say something.
Oh, sorry.
All right, I don't mean, there's usually discussion after the motion's made, but what I was going to say is that, you know, with Google translation services now, a lot of this stuff can be done, you know, the lion's share of translation can be done with Google Translate, as long as there's someone who can proofread.
Verify. Yeah.
Right, and verify. And I know, talking to Sarah, my wife Sarah, at the Open Door, they do this. They do a lot of translation, and they have translators on call in case there's an issue with any number of languages, the people that are in the community. So it might be helpful to reach out to them to find out what they do in terms of. I can do that too, in terms of sort of baseline translation, but. You know, the thing is, as Holly well knows, every time boards and commissions come up with these things, someone has to implement them, and that's time. So you definitely have the funding and some funding source and some remedy to pay for the time that takes, even if it's just a small amount every week. But I'd just be prepared for that with when you bring this to Greg and Jill.
Okay, yeah, well, thank you for that clarification, because yes, I mean, nothing, you know, I mean, someone has to input the document into the Google Translate, and then somebody needs to go then approach, you know, I know someone's got this language, can you review that, you know, so yeah, so it oftentimes, you know, it's like, we don't want to have it as an unfunded mandate. So we need to have is there any other discussion before we have the second, motion? Okay, can someone need to have a second?
Mayuza was second.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Mayuza. Okay, so now we'll be doing the roll call. Michelle McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Hannah Kimberly?
Yes.
Mayuza Alves?
Yes.
And Tony Borge, yes. So that's really great. I think this is, you know, again, we're starting off on these things here. And then I think next, you know, when we meet in March, you know, we may want to start thinking more too about where in the ordinance, it says, you know, for us to have in collaboration with another, you know, community partners is to hold, you know, like public events. So, you know, as we kind of get as brainstorming and thinking about, and I know it's February and we're all like busy, but maybe that's something we might want to see for targeting for sometime in the summer, you know, but leave that there. Okay, this is great though. I feel like starting to really get things in motion here. And so now I just kind of wanted to have people share what you've been doing on community activities since we, you know, last met in July. Michelle, I'm going to call it because I know that you've been involved in a lot.
I'm so busy. The most recent thing that I did was the Gloucester Meeting House MLK Day celebration. I actually got to sit down and have a conversation with Renee Graham. She's a columnist of the Boston Globe. I got to ask her some questions regarding how she approaches race and injustice and gender inequality and all of the above in her column that she does. It's something that I think she does really well. To highlight the questions that I asked her, we took information from the Gloucester Racial Justice Team survey that we've been doing. We just launched our 2024 survey. Thank you, Jason, for posting that link on Facebook, even though you got some not so wonderful responses.
You never know how people are going to respond.
But we're in the process of getting our data from this year, and so far it's going really well. Let's see, what else have I done? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Maybe I'll remember something else, but.
Well, I think, Yeah, before Hannah, just in regards to the Gloucester Racial Justice Team in collaboration with the Sawyer Free Library, that we didn't have it really an opportunity to really like the incredible job and work that the community, the community read that happened this past summer, and that will happen again there. So that, I mean, that when we're talking about getting involved and getting people involved and having them learn and everything like that, that was really awesome and
was
so
awesome.
successful.
Yeah, we've kicked off the process of planning Gloucester Reads 2024, and it is already started. So we're in book selection right now and getting our community partnerships lined up and having people commit to discussion groups. We've also started outreach to the police department. I'm really hoping to get them involved. I know that one of the big things that all across the country is dealing with is the fact that there's kind of a community disconnect with the people who are policing them and the people who live there. So we're really hoping to encourage them to show up to more community events like Juneteenth and the Brazilian Independence Day, not just there for working, but like actually participating, communicating with the members of those communities who really put a lot of time and effort into putting on these events to raise awareness and share their culture with the rest of Gloucester.
Great, thanks. Hannah, I saw your hand was up.
Yeah, Ms. Shea, can you send that link to me to the survey as well?
I sent that to everyone, I do believe.
Did you?
I can resend it.
Resend
she-
it, that'd
you
be
resent-
great.
yeah.
And we could put it on the website as well.
We can.
Well, it already is on the website.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I have a little QR code and everything.
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks to Pam. I sent the email to Pam, Toby, and she did it. So it's already on there. So that'd be great. Mayusa, I know that you have, you're really involved in what you've been doing in the community.
So I have been involved with a few things, mostly involved the Brazilian community. I actually got the Brazilian community involved in a meeting in a box with Sunny Robinson. So we had a meeting with some Brazilians for that. It was really good. So we got them to talk, and very active people. That was fun. I am the GF, Emily and I, and the Gloucester superintendent, Ben Lewis, we had a meeting. Ben was going to get the Brazilian parents connect with the Gloucester school leaders. So we had actually very fun event here in my house with Ben Lewis, the Gloucester High School principal, O'Malley principal, West Vet principal, and Bima, and the vice superintendent. I forgot her name. Here in my kitchen, and I was teaching them to make a pão de queijo. There was like a get together. It was not a meeting. It was like just get together. I made some Brazilian juice, some things Brazilian. I teach them to make a pão de queijo. It was like 3 hours get together, and with the was supposed to be 5 Brazilian parents, but ended up being 3. It was very fun. There was Ben Lewis was very he really wanted the school superintendent really wanted to get the Brazilian community, Brazilian parents to get more involved with the Gloucester Public School, and look like we have a big more and more first English second language student in the community, and he just wants to integrate those students and the parents. So it's really was a very good outcome. So I'm very proud of the Gloucester community and the Brazilian community to start to get more involved together. And other things here and there. So I've been active with other organizations too, but that was the main thing that I want to talk about.
That's great. That's great. Maya, so I know you and I have had this conversation because, is there anyone that's a leader? Because we have, there's a lot of, Latinx, people here in Gloucester. And do you know of any other community, is there a community leader that, or somebody like yourself working with the Latinx community to help, guide them, having this wonderful opportunity with the schools to introduce and have them focused on that there, but
Unfortunately, the Spanish speaker are very, I haven't been able to contact anybody who are have the leadership role for them here. We know that we have more people from Guatemala. Look like
Yeah.
that's the have more Spanish speaker here. But no, I tried.
yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tried to talk to someone, which I talked to her on the phone, and we set up a meeting in person, and that she canceled. We end up not being able to meet. They have people more from out of town that they always go for help. And that was not the first time I tried.
yeah, I know you and I had these conversations, yeah.
I like for them to feel that they could come to us, instead of get out of town to help. They could trust us for help, but it's not been easy. But I could try.
Well, I was, I think it would be nice if you had known someone so that this is another approach, because again, working, in Chelsea for all those years, and, in my program where the majority of the students that I had were from Guatemala and El Salvador. And one thing recognizing, especially like with the Guatemalans, is not necessarily even being Spanish speakers, but a lot of them are indigenous and speaking their indigenous languages. And, and of course that also has another barrier. And so, and this is where I think, as we keep our thinking caps on and looking at, in regards to inclusivity, again, we can't create community leaders, but if there's, how do we kind of work to get those communities, to recognize, that we're here. But it's so helpful, you as part of the Brazilian community, you have that there. So hopefully at some point, they won't feel like they need to, go over the bridge to get help.
Yeah, I think that's the school superintendent. That's his goal, is to get all the immigrant the community to feel home, feel comfortable and feel home, and that's what the goal. So I am the Brazilian, because the Spanish speaker community, but that's the goal. So this meeting in my house was just the first step.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is how we just started. So we're gonna keep going. He's
Yeah.
in touch with those parents without me. So this is just started. So they're gonna try, because those kids have friends which is Spanish speaker.
Yeah.
Those they have a friends around. So this is a way to connect to those parents too. Hopefully that's the way to start it.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. Well, for me, what I've been doing, well, of course, over the summer, I was, I got to, be part of the discussion groups for the community read, and had some, small involvement in that there. I also, of course, now the Gloucester 400 plus, is wrapping up. So I still was a lot, participated in a lot of the, the cultural events that they had there. I did attend one of the last meeting in the boxes at the Sawyer Free Library, which was very good, and very, to listen to the commonality of where people, one is, of course, we all know, is housing and the environment, affordability, that came throughout the, across there, but in that important. And I'm sure that, what is it? Is it March 9th is the next meeting of I think it's March 9th where they're going to be we're in, I think, stage 3 of the community development planning.
On
Yeah,
Sunday.
March 9th at City Hall. And I'll send a link to that. So, and that's a Saturday, I believe.
Saturday?
yeah.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, I think like from 9 to 2 or something like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah. That's right.
so that's kind of what I've been doing. And again, glad to be back here and rolling our sleeves up here with the Human Rights Commission. Now, is there anything else people, like sharing?
Oh, yeah, the book, it's already, the book for Gloucester 400, it's already, in. If you
Yeah.
want to, and I'm gonna get married tomorrow, and I am in my short stories in the book, so I'll get my book with my story tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going, I think is it Thursday at the bookstore, so I can pick up my book and,
Yep, tomorrow.
yeah,
I'm gonna pick up my at the 400 office, and they have a little thing for people who go there from, I think, 4 to 7.
yeah,
Little drink and little, like a get together tomorrow.
yeah, that's kind of nice, and one thing I do know is, on being at the Gloucester 400 is that like like Ruth Pino is one of the co-chairs, and all the work that has been done, especially, like with the DEIA committee of like, how can we continue to do this work, and because they were really excited with what, I mean, all that was happening in the education and, bringing, to the forefront, the Pawtucket people that, worked here, getting the land acknowledgement statement and not wanting to, kind of stop that and be part of like the Gloucester racial justice. I mean, Ruth, came on and spoke, not at last week's meeting, but the meeting before, right, on housing. So they're very much interested in, while the 400 plus is done, but the members, there's still so much interest in wanting to continue on, working on, making this community a warm and welcoming place for everyone. So, yeah. All right. Yes,
Oh,
Hannah.
Yeah, I've heard housing twice, so I just wanted to call attention to an organization called Housing for All Gloucester. They're a community organization, and they're focusing on fair and affordable housing for folks. And in this year's, our past elections, we had forums with all the candidates, or most of the candidates, who got a chance to talk about their ideas on housing, which I thought was great, super beneficial, and gave voters an idea of who they wanted to vote for based on how candidates were thinking about housing. So if you want to check out that organization or see what they're all about, you can go to their website, and I'll list that in the minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then on a teacher note, February 14th is Douglas Day, as in Frederick Douglass Day.
Oh,
So I know, I see your face, Michelle. So it was super cool this year because I had my students go to the Library of Congress website, and we translated the Frederick Douglass letters, not translated, transcribed, because they're all handwritten. And so we helped out the Library of Congress. The students got to actually take part in history making and celebrate Frederick Douglass. That would be something cool to do, I think, in the schools here as well. But it was a lot of fun. Especially fun watching some of them try to read cursive. But
I was going to say, could they read cursive since they don't know how to do cursive?
most of them could, so that was great. And if they couldn't, there's typed letters there too to translate. So
Oh, that's
it was
wonderful.
a great event.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Any other, Lola, do you have anything that you want to share in regards
Yeah,
to?
I first of all just want to comment. My school last summer did a Reading Frederick Douglass Together program, which I wasn't able to participate in, but I thought it was really wonderful. And from what I heard, it was a really great and engaging opportunity for everyone. Um, Sorry for my mom in the background. A lot of my community-based activities are based in school. So at the moment, I've been working with our sustainability initiative, it's like a sustainability club to prepare for our Earth Day, which I think is on April 22nd. So that's been really exciting. We're trying to get some new speakers in, trying to diversify it a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I know it's hard to believe, yeah, Earth Day. I remember the very first Earth Day, I was in high school, that was last century. And one of the things that we did was we walked to school instead of taking the bus. I mean, I think for people from West Gloucester, they didn't or the bus stopped, but it was like the first action, what was it, 1970 was the first Earth Day? That that it was the first action that we did in regards to, okay, one, walking, eliminating, pollution. So that's great, sustainability.
Yeah,
Right.
and for Gloucester, I've been trying to organize. In the past, we've done like a sustainable carpool, or people have biked to school because people tend to be from all around Gloucester. So it's a bit of a long way. A little too long to walk, but
Yeah,
might work.
but yeah, so, well, that's great. It's so, again, it's so great to be everyone, and so impressed with what we're all doing, Holly, and the support that, we've been giving to us all this time. She's been our Zoom guru.
It's been wonderful.
And-
Lola, I just wanted to mention to you also, we have a new sustainability coordinator with the city of Gloucester who might be a resource for you, or you said you were looking for new people to maybe speak at the Earth Day or something. You might want to get in touch with her in our community development department. And I'm drawing a total blank on her name. I can't imagine why, but
But, yeah.
it's a brand new position that Mayor Verga created, and obviously something we need. So yeah, she might be able to help you out with something.
Thank
What
you.
I'll do, Lola, is I'll get the name, I'll go on
Gemma.
the
It's
website.
Gemma.
Gemma.
It's-
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Gemma?
Sorry. Well, a lot of names rolling around in this
Yeah.
head.
And send you her email so
Oh,
that you
yeah.
can contact her. That would be great,
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, wonderful. So as we move on to the next part of the, do we have any other business? All right. And we have no members of the public.
We
here
have
for-
two.
Oh, we have two.
We have
Okay.
two, yes.
If they.
No hands raised.
No hand raised. Okay, well, that's, so let's look at before we close, as a date for the next meeting. And we moved that from 5:30 to 6. Did that work out for everybody?
6 is
This-
so much better for me.
Yeah,
So
that's,
much
I
better.
mean, we wanted to ensure that
you.
we made everything, that's good, okay. So, then the last Monday in March is on the 25th. And if all things work well, with the the hybrid training on the 13th, that we could possibly some of us meet in person, at the Rose Baker, Senior Center. And, for those who can't, we still have the ability for Zoom, so that, and hopefully we'll start to get more, being there, have more public participation, but it's great, we'll have that option there. So, so March 25th, would be our next meeting.
6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock. All right, Well, at this point in time, unless is there anything else that's, people need to,
The 25th meeting is on Zoom only.
no, hopefully it would be hybrid.
Okay,
Because if we're doing the training on the 13th, if all things work, it would be our first hybrid meeting. If things still kind of, need to get, straightened out, we would be meeting on Zoom. All right, well, then I will ask someone to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, well, then we will, for adjourning, Hannah Kimberly,
Yes.
Michelle McCaffrey,
Yes.
Myza Alves,
Yes.
and Tony Borge, yes. All right, everyone. Oh, so great to see everyone.
Lola, we're so glad you're here.
Lola,
Thank you,
know.
Lola.
Here.
So joining the team, Lola.
All right, we'll take care now.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Bye.